You can order the power steering pressure line hose assembly used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Turn your engine off. Set the parking brake. Pull on the hood release handle and open the hood. Loosen the lug nuts of the wheel on the passenger side. Lift the front of your vehicle. We strongly suggest watching our video on how to jack your Honda Accord safely before carrying out this step. Place the vehicle on the jack stands. In order to change the pressure line on your vehicle, you need to take off the wheel to have full access. Don't forget to put the wheel under the vehicle. You can now see the power steering line, which connects the steering pump to the rack and pinion. Using a ratchet and a 10mm socket, unscrew the two bolts holding the line to the steering pump. Next, remove the line by jiggling it back and forth. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 10mm socket, unscrew the bolt holding the metal bracket of the line to the left of the cylinder head cover. Then, move the bracket aside. Disconnect the pressure switch electrical connector. To do this, push on the tab and pull on the connector. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 10mm socket, unscrew the bolt holding the second metal bracket of the line, which holds the return line and the pressure line to the subframe. You can access it from the top of the engine compartment. It is located above the rack and pinion boot on the passenger side. Then remove the bolt. Using a ratchet, an extender, and a 10mm socket, unscrew the bolt holding the third metal bracket of the line. It is located next to the rear engine mount on the subframe. Positioned under the master cylinder, you can see the power steering rack where you will need to unscrew the pressure line retaining nut. For unscrewing, we recommend using an open ring wrench rather than a traditional wrench. This will make unscrewing much easier. Insert the 19mm open ring wrench through the top of the engine compartment. Then unscrew the pressure line. Place a fluid container under the line to catch any fluid that flows off. Finish unscrewing by hand. You can now remove the hose assembly by sliding it under the rear engine mount first, then over the top of the vehicle. Retrieve the pressure switch. Using a 17mm wrench, stop the connector on the pressure line from rotating to avoid damaging the line. Then loosen the pressure switch. Finish unscrewing by hand. Hey, it's Alex from CarParts.com. If you enjoyed this video and want to support us, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, back to work. Using a cutter, cut the rubber bushing lengthwise so that it can be reinstalled on the hose assembly later. You can order the power steering pressure line hose assembly used in the video on CarParts.com via the link in the description. Take the new hose assembly. Then screw the pressure switch back on, by hand at first. Secure the connector again. Then screw the pressure switch back on. Put the rubber bushing back on the hose assembly. Install the new seal on the end of the hose that will be in contact with the power steering. Then coat the seal with a little oil. Position a blanking plug at the other end of the hose assembly to protect it from impurities during installation. You can now put the new hose assembly in place by inserting it behind the engine and sliding it under the rear engine mount. Once in place, remove the blanking plug. You can purchase the parts we used here by visiting our website at CarParts.com. Put the bushing that holds the two lines to the subframe back in place. Then screw the metal bracket back on. Screw the pressure line metal bracket back onto the metal bracket. You can now reinsert the pressure line into the power steering pump. Then screw the two bolts back on. Finish tightening using a torque wrench. Reconnect the pressure switch electrical connector. When you change your power steering pressure line hose assembly, air will enter your steering system. Therefore, you need to reboot and bleed it. To do this, we recommend watching our video, How to Bleed the Power Steering Fluid Honda Accord. Then you will be able to put the wheel back on your vehicle. Put your vehicle back on the ground before properly fixing the wheel in place. Operation complete.